looking at this imbroglio in the last 1 month or thereabouts, and here he's calling the president for neglect for issues that concern the Ijaw nation and the Niger Delta. It's very loud and very visible. It is silence too loud to ignore, and it's an inactivity too visible to not see.
Yeah.
And that's what he's pointing out to here. What then is the hope for the Niger Delta under this government? I mean, it's 6 months, over 6 months, and we have not categorically seen any impact or felt the federal government presence in the South.
Well, Asari Dokubo is referred to the Idia Valley of the Niger Delta. That's what they call him, the Idia Valley, if I got that correct, of the Niger Delta. And he prides himself as an Ijaw man. And when you speak about the Ijaws in the Niger Delta, they cut across all of the states in the region. They're in Rivers, then Bayelsa, then Delta, then Edo, down to Ondo states and all of that. So, it's a vast ethnic group. And, so far the coastal lines are concerned, they predominate. And it is believed that the governor of Rivers State is also Ijaw, being an Opobo man, and all of that. And we must recognize that in Rivers State, our politics cuts across different dichotomies. We have the upland and the riverine dichotomy. Then we have the constitutionally known dichotomy, which is senatorial districts, where we have 3 senatorial districts. So it is expected, that power shifts to the senatorial districts or between the riverine and upland dichotomy. And it's believed that currently the governor of Rivers State is, favorably from the River Southeast Senatorial District that never produced a governor. That's number 1.
Right.
And he is an Ijaw man. Right. Number 2. So the Ijaws feel that whatever the Minister of FCT is doing today, as being an upland man, is against the interests of the Ijaws, the riverine in Rivers State. Because from all political compasses, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, as it then was, is from Obiakpo, his place. So if the governor is impeached and the deputy goes, an Obiakpo man becomes the acting governor.
Right.
You've seen the party chairman of PDP, an Obiakpo man. So strategically, the chief of staff, an Obiakpo man. So it looks as though, it's now an upland war against the riverine. And so the Ijaws are rising to the occasion in Rivers State, not just in Rivers State, across the Niger Delta, to protect their own. They may have come from different political divides. Asari supported APC, some worked against the current governor, but they are united by that ethnic sentiment as Ijaws.
Especially as we have heard Elder Edwin Kiagodo Clark speak.
I mean,
and we have also heard the special advisor to the Delta State Governor on information, right, also make statements in that regard.
No, so it tells you how delicate the situation in Rivers State is. And then Asari takes a response. Even Anki Briggs has spoken too. So Asari feels responsible, being that he is friend to the president and he worked for this president, and he will be a point of call because everybody knows he tried to rally around the Ijaws to support the president. No, now that the president is, and something is coming against the Ijaw nation, what is the president doing? So the question goes to him, as a friend to the president, who rallied around the region for the president, especially on that Ijaw block. So, but he has a responsibility, and that's the personality of Asari Dokubo. He speaks to power. He's not afraid to speak to power, and he has spoken to the president. This is one out of several messages he has sent out to Mr. President. Look, your decisions and your silence on the issues in Rivers State is affecting the Ijaw nation. And you know that this is, sorry to say, but this is the base of militancy in this region. The pipelines, the oil pipelines, cuts across the communities, the Ijaw communities, and they can tamper with it as a reaction to what is happening against, in quotes, the Ijaw nation. And at this point, if we say that we do not have finances in this country and we are trying everything possible to ensure that we increase our quota, OPEC quota, for the oil production per day, it means we must do everything possible to keep the Niger Delta in peace. And if we do not do that, we will be losing revenue as a country, and we'll be losing our national assets. So why not manage the political situation so that everybody will be at peace, there will be calm? Because at this point, there is this spoken and unspoken suspicion that Mr. President seems to be favoring the Minister of FCT, and that is what gives him the guts and the effrontery to be acting the way he's acting in gross impunity. So this is a clarion call to Mr. President, not just as the president of this country, but as a friend of the Niger Delta, as perceived
as a friend of Alaja.
because he calls himself the president, they become Presido, he rallied around these people. Right. So he's trying to tell his friend, Mr. President, to look, your silence on this issue. Is it that Wike cannot be cautioned? Is it that your minister cannot be called to caution, cannot be queried? Is it bigger than the president? So it speaks doom if the president cannot call his minister to order. And we remember there is a history, and I have mentioned, there is a history when Jonathan was the president of this country, where the same Nyesom Wike in Rivers State brought federal might into the state to oppress the sitting governor at the time, and there was a rage from Rivers State against the presidency of Jonathan. And this is the same thing that will likely happen to the president if he does not cut off this cancer and ensure history does not repeat itself.